So now we know what this place is really about. It's nothing more than a whorehouse, a high-class whorehouse. It looks like something was going on in this bed. I'd rather not. They look like VIP rooms. There are about 6 of them in the hallway. No, I'd rather not watch the show of some naked rich white guy going at it. They look like VIP. I'd rather not. They look like... No. V, the letter that means 5, has a Roman numeral, and it's also the first letter in the word vendetta. That's a crazy idea. They look like I'm sure I don't. They look like VIP rooms. There are about... They look... I'd rather not. He must be Marzetti's bodyguard. Hey, Beast, I want to talk to your boss. That grimace, his size. I've already met this guy. It's the same one that tried to take off my jaw at the port. For a second, I am frozen like a statue, waiting for him to clock me with one of those hooks. Then I think about it. The port was as dark for me as it was for him. He must not have recognized me. At least, not yet.
Oscar, let him pass. Come in, sit down.
Are you Edward Marzetti?
That's right, who are you?
I'm Kennel Riley. I'm a private detective.
Kennel Riley. Interesting name. I'd have thought you were Italian from the looks of you.
You have a good eye.
As you can guess, my family's from Italy too. My parents were from a small town near Naples. Tell me, Riley, what brings you here?
I'm just passing by.
Passing by? All private detectives are always just passing by.
Right. We like to explore new places.
Come on, Riley. Let's stop faking. You're here for a reason. Which one of my customers is in trouble this time?
Looks like you're used to this type of visit.
This is a speakeasy, Riley. It's full of damn idiots ready to fall right in for the first crook that comes by. Even though access is reserved, an evening doesn't go by that new faces don't show up in this joint. It's not unusual for one of your colleagues to come by to ask questions about someone who should not have been here.
So, access to your joint is less restricted than it seems?
Looks like it. Only people on a specific list should come up. But I doubt you were on it, and yet you're here.
Aren't you worried by how easy it is to get into your joint?
The only reason for the password at the door is to make it seem exclusive for the regulars. That's it.
Talk to me about the joint.
It's one of the many joints where the New York haves come to have fun. They drink their cocktails, they hang out with a pretty girl, and the next morning they go back and wag their finger at alcoholism and prostitution as the main reasons why the city's going to the dogs.
So, your position lets you stay above all of them?
You could say that. Who do you believe governs the world? Those who have the power or those who know their secrets?
Managing a place like this lets you have more power than the people who come here.
That's right, Riley. You're a quick study.
I do what I can.
Aha! You're a great guy.
Right. And you should see the tattoo of the Balinese dancer that I have on my right thigh. What do you do for a living?
I have a few joints in New York and a couple in Los Angeles.
I know that you started from Little Italy.
I see you have been gathering information about me. I bought my first joint in the center of Little Italy called New Naples in honor of my hometown. There was still prohibition at the time, but with the right connections it was easy to make money. The rest came on its own.
You're self-made, as they say.
I'm a rather determined guy, Riley. If I want something, I get it.
I heard you're a movies fan.
Ah, I bet you've shared a few words with old Howard. That guy's a genius. You'd never think it to see him. He falls head over heels for the first woman he meets, but he has a nose for movies. He hasn't made a film that hasn't sold out.
I'm sure that the directors might have some credit too.
Nearly all of the scripts that he has funded were, on paper, on the edge of decency, but he knew how to make the most out of them. Helped out by his financial resources, of course, and he isn't short on them.
Why did you invite him?
I have money to spend lately, and I've decided to invest it in the movies. They seem to have a good business potential. I've been courting old Howard for months to finance one of his films, but he's a tough guy. He always wants to do everything by himself. But sooner or later, I'll convince him, I'm sure.
Bye, Marzetti.
It's been a pleasure to talk with you, Riley. Come back to see me. I'll tell the bartender to let you in whenever you want. Just give your last name at the call box. You're not the kind of guy who lets a password get in his way.
Marzetti is a shrewd guy. I'll have to be very careful. I certainly can't simply ask him whether he knew Sean, but I'm sure I can find something interesting in his office. But how can I get in there without him being there? Better not. Pictures of people in compromising position. No. Rather explicit. I'm not going... I sincerely doubt that these pictures represent the notion of reproduction as it is meant in the Christian sense of the pictures of people in compromising positions. A red light, indispensable object to create the right atmosphere. A red light, indispensable object to create the right atmosphere. The glass cover doesn't come off. It must be attached to the base. A red light. The glass cover. A red light. The glass cover doesn't come off. It must be a red light. It's too hot to screw out with my bare hands. Yes, I should be able to unscrew it with a handkerchief without burning myself. Good. I let it cool down a bit. Now I can get it. With this, the room will become a perfect dark room.
Come in, sit down. Riley.
Bye, Mart.
Goodbye, Riley.
No clue. look like V. I'd rather not. No, better leave her to her cocktails and her acting dreams. Hi, Howard.
Oh, hi again, Riley.
Tell me about the...
I understand you've also had the pleasure...
Yes, let's...
He didn't send you here to convince me to...
No one sent me.
His off or work.
So you...
Oh, no.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I'm not a guy who... I admire how bad taste is just everywhere in this joint. Even the paintings show a complete lack of taste. It's fine, we're... Except for a bottle. Except for a bottle. If I want some... I'd rather not. The red light bulb that I got at Little Peninsula. I don't see how... No, it doesn't make any sense. No clue. At least... I don't see how I could use them together. I don't see how... I don't see how... No clue.
Let me guess.
Essex.
Okay. York operator.
Can you...
What's the number?
Little Peninsula...
1 sec. Sorry.
Violette...
Wait a sec.
Hello? What is it?
It's about...
Shoot. No problem.
Where you want go this?
60...
Whatever.
It's closed.
Yes?
It's right...
Of course.
No clue. No, it doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make it... I don't see how I could use... I'd rather not. I'm sure that he's the same guy who attacked me at the port. Luckily, he doesn't seem to have recognized, but I better be cautious. If he recognizes me, I would have even more problem. Better not. They look like VIP rooms. I'm sure they look like They look like... No, I'd rather... No, it doesn't make any sense. I don't see it. No clue. The red light bulb that I got at Little Peninsula. It looks like something was going on in this bed. I'd rather not. I sincerely doubt that these pictures represent the notion of reproduction as it is meant in the Christian sense of the word. Rather explicit pictures. I'm not going to pick up... Odd. There are some sofas. Maybe to make possible spectators comfortable. I'm not sitting there. I'm not sitting. No, it doesn't. No clue. I don't see how I could use them together. No. I don't see how I don't see. No clue. No clue. No, it doesn't make... No clue. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. A red light. A red light. Indispensable object to create the right... We're not at a shoot. No clue. No clue. No clue. At least none that make... No clue. No, it doesn't... No. I don't see... No, it doesn't make any sense. I don't see how I could... It's a silver cigarette case with the initials HP. This junk will cost at least what I make in a month. I'm not a guy who worries about a little theft, but now's not the right time. It looks like our Howard likes a lot of the cocktails in here. It looks like the waiters can handle cleaning the tables. Howard. Maybe he could be helpful to get Marzetti out of his office so that I could take a look around. Hi, Howard.
Oh,
What do you...
oh, Mr. Eastwood. Certainly, when some...
So,
Let me just...
bye, Howard.
Goodbye.
I'm not going to play it here. No, it doesn't... I don't see how I could... It looks like our house... The waiter... I don't want to sit down now. The chair is empty, and I don't see any cocktails besides Howard's. He must have come alone. Howard, maybe he could be helpful to get Marzetti out of his office so that I could take a look around. Did you take me for one of those guys who shoots at every little thing? I don't see how I could use them together. I don't see how I could use... No clue. No, it doesn't make any sense. No clue. No clue. No, better leave her. A young, attractive bartender. Perfect for a place like... No, I don't see how I could use them. I don't see how...
Come in, sit down. Riley, how can I help you?
I heard...
You'd never think he hasn't made a...
I'm sure that the directors...
Nearly all of the scripts that he has funded were, on paper, on the edge of decency, but he knew how to make the most out of it. Helped out by his financial resources, of course.
Why did you invite him?
I have money to spend lately, and I've been courting old Howard for months to finance one of his... But sooner or later, I'll convince him.
Bye, Martetti.
Goodbye, Riley.
No, it doesn't. No clue. A red light. I'm not sitting there. I sincerely doubt that these pictures represent the notion of... I'm not going to... It's a card that allows me to access my investigator's license. $20, a damn questionnaire, and anyone who wants to can stick their nose. No clue. I sincerely doubt that these pictures represent the notion of reproduction, as it is rather explicit pictures. I think I... No, it... I don't see how... No clue. At least... No clue. I don't see how I... They look like VIP rooms. There are about 6 of them in the hallway. They look like V. V, the letter that means 5, has a Roman numeral, and it's also the first letter in the word vendetta. Rather pointless. V, the letter that means 5 has a... and it's also the first letter in... They look like V... I'm sure I don't want to know what's going on in there. I don't see how I could use them together. No clue. That's a crazy idea. Pictures of people in compromising positions. I think I... Pictures of people... No. The word kitchen is over the door. I guess they make food in there. Going for no reason into the kitchen of an illegal joint. I'd say that's the least intelligent way to pass. No, better. Except for a bottle of gin, there isn't anything that looks like real booze on these shelves. Except for a If I want something, I guess... No, I don't see what I should do with... I admire how bad taste is just everywhere in this joint. Even the paintings show up. The waiters can handle cleaning the table. Howard, maybe he could be helpful to get Marzetti out of his office so that I could take a look around. No. No, it doesn't. No clue. I don't see how... I don't see how... No clue. At least none that... No. No clue. No clue. I don't see how I could use... No. I don't see... No, it doesn't... No. I don't see... I don't see... I don't see... I don't see... No, it doesn't... No, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to play it here. I'm not going to... No clue. At least I don't see how I... No. The red light bulb that I got at Little Peninsula. Essex.
We see.
It's not an expense. It's fine where it is. Yes, this lamp is perfect to get the right atmosphere that I need to develop photographs. Good. It's time to play photographer. The magnifier shoots its light beam, focusing right on the photographic paper. I take the page, and then I put it in the developing liquid, then in the fastener, and finally, I rinse it with water. I let the photograph dry for a while. 15 minutes, and the magic is done. Now I have a nice picture of Howard romancing with Harvey Weber's stepdaughter.
Ah,
65th.
whatever you...
Yes, of course.
What do you say about these?
Well, how did you get these photographs?
Unlike in your movies, in real life, a detective spends most of his time trailing cheats or butlers with a nimble hand. I don't usually run into dead bodies or take exotic trips.
Did you follow me to blackmail me?
I'm not a blackmailer, but it looks like we have a common acquaintance, Ms. Weber.
Susan?
Right, Ms. Susan Weber. Howard looks like a pretty impressionable guy. I'll have to change slightly the reason why Harvey Weber hired me. Her father asked me to find her and tell him who kidnapped her.
Kidnapped her? What are you talking about? I didn't kidnap anyone.
You don't have to tell me that. Tell Mr. Weber. He's a 6-foot-tall, 200-pound butcher. Not exactly the type of guy whom you can calm down by talking about the movies. Especially if you got up close and personal with his daughter.
And you want to give these pictures to that man?
That's what I'm paid for.
I'll pay you twice as much. I'm a rich man and I can pay any amount.
Don't start emptying your pockets. I've already told you I'm not a blackmailer, but you could be helpful.
What do you want for these photographs? You aren't going to give them to some crazy, violent guy, are you?
You might be helpful for something later on. You help me, and Mr. Weber will never find out about this little matter.
Okay, I'll do whatever you want. But please, don't go around flashing those photographs.
I have an offer for you. It doesn't make any sense. It looks like you're in the good graces of Marzetti, and that could be helpful.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Get Marzetti to leave his office long enough for me to take a look around.
Are you joking? I don't want any problems.
You already have problems. Having an affair with Mr. Weber's daughter wasn't a great idea, but if you do as I say, you won't have any problems.
Me? I don't know how I could help you.
You said that Marzetti was interested in your business.
Yes.
Good. Tell him that you've changed your mind. If he invites you to his office, make up something to get him to go out.
You're crazy. I'll never accept Marzetti's offer.
I don't care if you accept it or not. I just want Marzetti to leave his office. That's enough for me.
You're terrible.
Maybe you're right. Next time I see one of your movies, I'll take notes about how a gentleman detective acts. I sit at the bar and I order what, in this joint, is called a cocktail. I see Howard passing behind me and heading upstairs, but not before tossing a malicious glance my way. Relying on that sort of producer to get Marzetti away from his office isn't a great idea, but it's the only one that comes to mind at the moment. While I wait for Howard to come back, I drink my cocktail. Simply disgusting. There's enough sugar in it to kill a diabetic. A few sips later, I see Howard coming down the stairs. This time, Marzetti and his bodyguard are with him. It looks like that 2-bit producer actually did it, and I'm in the clear to go look around that big shot's office. The door is locked. I'd say it's the only way I can get in. I'd say it's the only... Let's see what Marzetti's hiding. A series of statues and vases from who knows... I'd better... Imported whiskey. Imported whiskey. Italian and French wines? Our Marzetti takes care of himself. It's tempting. Closet. A closet. Coats, shirts, ties. I'm not going to find much in here. And this totem definitely takes the cake for the most garish thing in this place. I wonder how they could pick out something like this. Sorry, but I must have been absent when they were teaching the rain dance at school. Some spears and a shield. I don't need a degree in anthropology to figure out they come from Africa. I'll take the spearhead. It's not very sharp, but it looks rather strong. I'll take one. It could be helpful. From the smell of it, I'd say that this glass had brandy in it. An issue of Upper Class, one of those magazines that teach the rich how to behave in every situation. How to eat lobster properly, what works of art to hang in the living room, and how to avoid paying taxes without getting into trouble. No, I don't need this. Box of Cuban cigars. No, I hate the smell of cigars. That's an odd thing to keep on a desk. This series of discs doesn't seem like a simple knick-knack. A telephone. I don't have to call, and if I had to... These windows open onto a sort of terracing. I don't see why I should... No clue. No clue. I don't see how I... Some spears and a shield. I don't need... I don't see anything else. A series of statues and vases from who knows. I'd better leave them there. And this totem definitely takes the cake for the most garish thing in this place. I wonder how they could pick out something like this. And this totem I wonder how they could pick... Sorry, but I must have been absent when they were teaching the rain dance at school. No. A glass. I don't see how... A spearhead. Not very sharp, but still in good shape. That's an odd... I don't see how... No. No clue. No clue. No clue. No clue. I don't see... I don't see... I don't see how I could use... I don't see how... I don't see how... I don't see... I don't see... I don't see how I could use them to... No clue. At least none that... No clue. No. No clue. No clue. I don't see... No, it doesn't make any... No. No clue. No, it doesn't make any... No clue. I don't see how I could use... That's an odd... That's an odd... That's an odd... No, I don't see how I could... I don't see how... Coat. And this totem definitely takes the cake for the most garish thing in this place. I wonder how they could pick out something like this. No clue. No, especially now... No, I'm not... Especially now that Marzetti isn't in his office, and neither is that beast off... Empty boxes. So, in theory, these crates should contain materials to bind books, or something else useful for an antique bookstore. But I recognize the stamp of booze transports on a couple of these crates. I didn't remember that you needed gin to restore books. I'm not going to pick up every object. I don't see how I could use... Little Peninsula. There's no question that the magic, but how could an antique bookstore on the Upper East Side have anything to do with... Maybe I'm on the wrong track. It's closed. It's the middle of... No clue. No clue. At least none that... I don't see how I could use them. No. I don't see... No clue. A glass.
Yes?
It's Riley.
Of course.
I don't see how... No clue. No, it doesn't make... No. don't see how... No. No. No, it doesn't make any No. No, it... And this totem definitely takes the cake for the most garish thing in this place. I wonder how they could pick out something like this. Sorry, but I must have been absent when they were teaching the rain dance at school. These windows open onto a sort of terracing. I don't see why I should. That's an odd thing to keep on a desk. A safe inside a totem. I love classy things. I need a combination to open the safe. I don't have time to figure it out. I need to find a quicker way to open it. No clue. At least none that makes... It's closed. 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 Good idea. I can use the glass to hear when the cylinders of the lock click. It's closed. It's closed. I opened it. These wads of cash are making me think that I'm in the wrong line of work. I'll take a wad. I'm sure it's dirty money, but it's better off in my pocket than in Marzetti's. There's a notebook in the... Yes, I'll take it. This notebook must have important information in it if Marzetti thought it needed to be in the safe. I'd better think about it. It doesn't make any sense. 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 It doesn't make any... It doesn't make any sense. I can't think of anything.
I don't understand these idiot producers. First he wants to talk business downstairs, and then he changes his mind. He just wasted my time. Oscar, do you have the office keys? Damn it, I must have left them on Howard's table. I'm going to get them. You, stay here.
Dannazione! Howard didn't keep Marzetti away for even 10 minutes. I have to find a place to hide right now. If I tried to go out the window now, they'd get me for sure. I don't see why I should. Yes, a closet is a good place to hide.
I left the office open, but I was sure that I locked it. Oscar, make sure no one disturbs me. I have to make an important call. Hello? It's Marzetti. How's the search going? You had more than 2 hours and you still didn't get anything? And who is this guy? Jack Del Nero. A private detective. Let me guess. Is he Italian? How do I know? Simple. That guy was here until 5 minutes ago. He obviously gave me a fake name. Maybe he's still in the joint. I'd better go with Oscar and ask this guy a few questions. No way! We gave you more than enough time to take care of this and you failed. And now we'll take care of it. Oscar! Let's go. We have to talk to our new friend.
Something tells me that my next conversation with Marzetti won't be as cordial as the previous one. I'd better get out of here. Going out of the door is out of the question. I guess the windows are the only way out. I don't think these windows are... I don't think these... This fire escape could be a good way to get out of here. If only this signboard weren't there to stop me from getting there. The signboard is in my way. Beyond this sign... The mounting of the sign to the wall doesn't seem to be in too good condition. At this point, the joint seems... I can't think of anything. I could try to lift it with the spearhead. Let's see. I can't think of anything.